Let's review how to crochet a granny square. If you want to follow along with the video, you can collect a 5mm crochet hook, some number 4 medium weight yarn, and scissors. This pattern calls for chain stitches, slip stitches, and double crochets. We'll create chain stitches to create our foundation ring and chain 1 spaces along the edges of our granny square and chain 2 spaces along the corners of our granny squares. And we'll create groups of double crochets that will be the foundation of our granny square. Let's begin with our foundation ring. We are going to create a slip knot. And once the yarn is on our hook, let's chain 4. And slip stitch into our first chain. Finishing our foundation ring. Round 1 and all subsequent rounds are going to begin by chaining 3. And that chain 3 will act as the first double crochet in our first group of 3 double crochets. So we'll do 2 more double crochets into our foundation ring. Chain 2 to be our first corner, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets into our foundation ring. Chain 2, and go back to the asterisk, doing 3 double crochets into the foundation ring. Chain 2, and lastly 3 double crochets into our foundation ring. Chain 2. And now to finish round 1, we are going to do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. So I'll insert my hook into the front and back. And after I do my slip stitch, I'm going to turn my square to end round 1. Round 2. We're at the corner or a chain 2 space. So we're going to work our corner pattern. Let's chain 3. This will act as our first double crochet. In our first group of 3 double crochets, we'll do 2 more double crochets in the chain 2 space or the corner. We've created half our corner, so let's chain 2 to create the actual corner and do 3 more double crochets into the chain 2 space. To get to the other corner, and when we move along our sides, we're going to chain 1. Now we've gotten to an asterisk, so we're going to repeat this pattern, doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, all in the chain 2 space or the corner. Chaining 1 to bring us to our next corner. Then we go back to the asterisk since we're at the semicolon. So all in this chain 2 space, we do what's in the parentheses, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and parentheses, so we're done in the corner. Let's chain 1 and bring our work to the next corner. Going back to the asterisk, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, all in the chain 2 space. We're going to chain 1 and finish round 2, as we do with all rounds, by slip stitching into the top of our chain 3 and turning our work. Round 3, unlike round 2, begins in a chain 1 space. So let's chain 3. That's still how we begin the round. And now let's do 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space or the side of our granny square. We'll chain 1 to bring us down the side to the corner, and we do our quarter pattern. 3 double crochets, chain 2, the actual corner, 3 double crochets. Chain 1 to move us down our sides. And now we've gotten to the asterisk. So here's where we're going to repeat. We're on the side of our granny square, working in this chain 1 space on the side. We will 3 double crochet, chain one to bring us to the corner, and now in the corner we are going to do a group of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. And chaining 1 to finish our repeat pattern. So we're going to go back to the asterisk, working in the chain 1 space, doing 3 double crochets, chaining 1 to bring us to our corner, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets all in the chain 2 space or the corner. Chain 1 to bring us to the chain 1 space, and we'll repeat from the asterisk one final time, doing 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space, chaining 1 to bring us to our final corner, then in the chain 2 space in the corner doing 3 double crochets, chaining 2, and 3 double crochets. To finish round 3, chaining 1 and slip stitching into the top of our chain 3, turning our square. Round 4, like round 3, begins in a chain 1 space. So we'll do the chain 1 space pattern. We will chain 3 to act as our first double crochet and do 2 more double crochets in that chain 1 space. Chaining 1 to bring us to the corner, and then working our corner pattern. 3 double crochets, chaining 2, 3 double crochets. Chaining 1 to work down the sides And now in this first chain one space, let's chain three, or excuse me, 3 double crochets, chain one to bring us to our next chain one space and the start of our asterisk repeat pattern. We'll do 3 double crochets in the chain one space, chain one to bring us to the corner, and now in the corner in the chain two space, let's do 3 double crochets, we'll chain two, do 3 more double crochets, chain one to work down the edge of the granny square, working 3 double crochets in the next chain one space. Chaining one, semicolon, so we go back to the asterisk and repeat the pattern again, starting with the 3 double crochets in the chain one space, chaining one to bring us to the corner. In the corner, the chain two space, we do 3 double crochets, chain two, and work 3 more double crochets. You chain one and work 3 double crochets in the next chain one space. Chain one to bring us to the next chain one space and to the final repeat pattern. So back to the asterisk, let's do 3 double crochets in the next chain one space, chain one, in the corner, 3 double crochets, chain two, three double crochets, chain one, in the next chain one space, 3 double crochets, chaining 1. To finish round 4 and our pattern, let's slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. At this point we can grab our scissors and cut our yarn with a few inches to spare. And weave in our loose ends from the beginning and also in the center with our foundation ring. Thanks for watching on how to crochet a granny square. Please leave any questions or comments below.